Happy Wednesday, Clinton County, Wilmington, Ohio, 45177. Um, the driving force. What drives me? Um, Not long ago, my home was illegally taken from me, and if you want to sit down and see on black and white on how these criminals achieve this, by all means, before you give an opinion and before you open your suck, you better. I mean, it's good to know the facts because speaking by what someone tells you, especially someone that has a dog in the fight or they're protecting, the image of someone, like, oh, he just got something he couldn't afford. No, you're wrong. You're wrong. I lived in the house for almost 10 years. The VA took me out of my position, but there were promises made by this financial institution. The loan was criminal. It was of a predatory nature that was pointed out to myself and my ex-wife by Mr. Rick Getke, and he said it was the worst he'd ever seen. Um, but but the fact remains that um, the Department of Veterans Affairs composed a letter to this bank stating that they would pay all arrears before I got a really large back check that would have, honestly, if it was all applied, would have paid the house three-quarters of the way off. So there's that. But let's ponder it. Some of these people that are running around saying this went years without making a home payment. Some of these big wig names in the area, such as Peel. Um, yeah, I was told that that guy had the owner of all the rental properties. I mean, is he above? And that's why Wilmington Savings Bank, one of the reasons that they were almost shut down. So I guess if you got the right last name, that's acceptable. Except those people weren't removed from their jobs. The owners of these places. But I mean, the people that lived in the rental properties certainly were. And do I think what happened was right? I do morally. I do. 14,000 people. That's a tragedy. And I think there needs to be something, and put in place, and to protect such an event. But if you just go by the law, no. I mean, the guy should have lost every home that he had, from what I understand. There was people that went years in this town that owned properties that didn't make a payment. That is, if you were affiliated with Wilmington Savings Bank. So I had a chance. I had to sit down with a few people that really wanted to get inside what drives me, and I told them, you know, there was a day, in this country that bankers and judges or lawyers like this would have been hung. They would have hung their mucky asses out in front of the courthouse for people to eat popcorn and watch their feet dangle. These are facts. The history of this country proves that. But see, so what these people did was criminal. It was illegal, and it's going to be nationally seen. This much, I promise you, the world is going to see you people and see what you caused. They're going to see you. I promise you. There's no doubt in this Marine Corps mind. So um, when I sat down with these people, I also saw the former mayor this evening. He even got enlightened by a few things that he didn't know. And there's, but anyway, this group, I showed them, and they were like, "Wow, man!" And then they asked themselves, "What would you do?" I mean, let's think about this for a second. I could break my oath like they did and all kinds of create all kinds of havoc. I could. But you see, that's not the man I am. I honor my oath that I took to my country, and I'll never break it. Not for the likes of shitbags like this, because that's what these people are. They're sniveling little shitbags. They don't know how to keep an oath. They don't know how to keep their word. I'll say it to their face. And the fact remains is that if you people don't believe anything that I'm saying here, why do you suppose I'm not being sued? I mean, some people, well, you ain't got no. I got something. Nobody knows what I got. I mean, but they would come after me for slander or defamation of. But here's the thing: everything that I'm saying to you people, I can prove if it's not my opinion. So when I walked out of my home and watched the tears fall from my little girl's face, my children, that's something that's going to stay in my head. But then knowing why, what these people were getting away with, and to this day, kind of still getting away with. But I promise you, dipshits, it's the day draweth the day draweth nigh. The world is going to see what you fucking people did to me. The world. I promise you. There's no doubt. They're going to look back and say, wow, you people did this. You people created this. That's what's happened. But then it's oh my God, him this, him that. No. So how much is a man or a woman to take from these immoral, unethical, lying pieces of shit who sit in positions to where they stand in a position of, but not for long. Not for long. Because slowly but surely, it's people are seeing you jackasses for what you really are, man. You're deceptive con artist. That's all you are. You're not good. There's nothing good about you. I mean, could you repent and come to the people and say, I was bad, I did these things? You could, but you never will. Because somehow you take pride in that. You take pride in dishonor. Your children are going to grow and look at you like, oh my God. They're going to be ashamed of you. I promise you they will be. Because these podcasts are they're going to be catalogs of you jackasses. They're never going anywhere. So moving right along. What drives me? So I started doing the research. I found out what these people did to me, and I started becoming vocal. I started learning. I started researching. I started learning. And then I started going vocal at council meetings about what this jackass did to me and how he aided in it. And he did, and he knows it. He's a lying piece of shit. That's why he took to social media, and he even lied there. And I'm going to prove that. It's that's the thing, And so anyway, I started going to council meetings, to which the son of this derelict number 2, Derelict Jr., started calling me. He got my damn number off the damn thing that you sign into council meetings and started fucking calling me and texting me like I knew him. Oh, I see you didn't appeal. How the hell would he know that the same night I brought this shit to the attention of the council? How would he know that? Something that was that old. Because they know these anyway. So I started entertaining this little fuckwad. I mean, I'm like, this is like a little court jester here. That's what I think. That's what I thought. I didn't think nothing of him. I had nothing against him or for him, but he was just ill-informed. because either he believed everything Daddy told him, which is pretty fucking stupid, or I mean he knew and was just trying to continue pandering the lie, and then trying to make me believe his lie. Get the fuck out of here! I know what you are. You're a narcissistic fucking liar. You're deceptive. But anyway, from that point, this man said, "Don't make me hurt you, Tony." Well, I had to chuckle at that. And by the way, there's witnesses to that. 3 of them. I had you on speakerphone, fucktard. Yeah. So don't make me hurt you, Tony. So with that, I kind of chuckled. I'm like, you're physically not going to do that. That's why I laughed. But then I found out what he really meant, to the tune of getting arrested at a council meeting for being vocal. But by this time, in between those periods, I had met Daryl. Then Daryl and from Daryl and I, Greg came on the scene, and I started seeing all these things, and it just became this grand scheme of corruption. And it is, man. You can't look at this thing and say it's not. And is this how our entire country is operating? My God. But anyway, from the false arrest to then going to the getting demeaned and defamed and degraded on social media by a judge. So let's talk about that. I bet you that guy's heard 100,000 cases. And I bet you 100,000 people walked out of his courtroom pissed off, hating his guts and calling him and his family everything in the book. But yet he chooses to talk about me on social media. He was trying to deflect and get the people off the scent. Well, that's not going to work. Because the people that I sat down with this evening are your friends, motherfucker. I showed them. 2 of them were like, wow. Wow. So yeah, I'm going to show people face to face in black and white what you did and how you're operating. Hang on a second. Stand by. Let me call you right back. I'm on a podcast, man. So, and here's the thing. These are your own actions. And then a couple of them like, oh, I know Mr. Herdman. Oh, I've known about him for quite some time. Yeah. I mean, unfortunately, I didn't. Mr. Herdman was the former judge who ran the bank, who along with Mr. Ruddock, railroaded me. So this will, I mean, if it has to, and it might, find its way outside the realms of Ohio, which it's gonna. Oh, it's gonna. I promise you, it's gonna. It will. And one day, you shitbags are going to be answering, how could you do this? How could you do something like this? Why couldn't you just face the consequences of your actions like most adults do? It's real simple. Because had they faced that consequence of their actions, that bank probably would have been shut down. So let's not act like there's not such thing as criminal bankers and lawyers. Well, they do exist. And I think they're quite prevalent in Clinton and Warren County. So, and then, once I got into reading into, Andy Napier's case, Casey Pitzer's case, Allison's case, and I started seeing all this the same people over and over and over again. And the same players, liars, deceivers. And they all protect one another. Well, what are you going to do when 1 or 2 people just decide not to keep protecting you? When they decide to come clean? When maybe one day they're sitting in the church pew and God just smacks them in the face? I have a feeling some of those days are coming too. I do. I do. But yeah, I mean, think about this. Imagine your family members dying in the hands of a couple of deputies, and you got to see that one. And then the city court jester up here tells you 11 times or so many times, Daryl was telling me, to go and get a forensics, report. He did, and the forensic scientist, one of the most renowned in the country, opines that the sheriff's department lied in the manner in which this man died. But then let's go even further. Let's look at Casey. Detective lies about polygraphs, destroyed rape kit, lies to going down a certain way, a certain path, and videos prove they didn't. So many lies told. Allison, they're withholding her rape kit from her. They sealed a case without the family's permission. They didn't go to court for that. You have to have permission. I'm pretty sure. I'm almost certain that in order to seal a case, you have to have permission from both sides. You have to have a hearing, and they both have to agree to do so. But I mean, imagine this. Imagine if you were in fact a rape victim, and they're holding your evidence from you. What do they got to hide, folks? What exactly do they have to hide? And I'm going to tell you, if some piece of paper pops up that this same lawyer was hired by that family and represented her and the dipshit involved, this entire thing is just gone. It's just going to get blown to hell and beyond, because just wow. Wow. But I think, and I do believe in karma. I do. I've lived it before. I absolutely have. And in fact, there's something that I live on a daily basis, and it's never going to go away. So it's real. It's very real. So what drives me? Criminals destroyed my family, and having to know and knowing who they are and what they are makes it even worse, because these are oath takers. These are people that are supposed to be honorable and act in favor of the people, and these people are anything but. And it's just not my case. There's tons of them out there. I bet you if there was an honest investigation on I would like to go down, or maybe I already have. Could you imagine if Tony Thomas was taken down to the courthouse basement and was able to go through that little shack on that little shack in the basement on the what are these things called? Pallets, the little wood pallets, or whatever. Could you imagine if Tony got an open free reign to that one day? Oh boy. Or someone that's very pro Tony. Boy. Boy, oh boy. But yeah, destroying evidence, lying. And here's the thing: I can prove they lied on more than one occasion. So come on after me. Well, you'll get your chance, because I'm coming after you legally. Don't get your panties in a knot. Oh, he said he's coming after me. No, yeah, legally, in a court of law, and I'm going to appeal until it either ends up outside. I mean, it's going to get some attention. That I promise you, because it's already gained the attention of a gentleman who does some writing for the Marine Corps Time magazine. Marine against the state of Ohio. Who's going to win? Well, if the law is acting in an honorable way, I am. And it's going to do I see it? Maybe not. Do I see it possibly getting taken outside? Could. But here's the thing: I'm not losing a dime. And each time I enter a courtroom, I learn. Sometimes I even go to courtrooms and sit and listen and learn the ways. I learned quick, amazingly quick. Some of you found that out. I never imagined I would be drafting up my own court papers that looked pretty damn good. In fact, I was complimented by another lawyer who proofread my shit. So, yeah, there's some cheerleaders in the shadows that some of you people don't know about, because I promise you, I mean, deception and deceit, same thing. Deceit, being deceitful and lying and being immoral. Nah, man, people can only take so much of that shit. I mean, it's for real. I mean, because there's everyone has a boundary, everyone, and some of these sick, demented individuals, they don't know what boundaries are. All they see is either dollar signs, greed, or how many more people can they screw. Um, so, oh yeah, I forgot to mention the parental alienation case. Yeah, removing children with no legal grounds, none. Imagine having your children taken from you for 3 fucking years with no legal grounds, none. But then the magistrate and is then caught saying, perhaps I was being biased. Maybe I should turn this over to judge. Would he have been worse? Who is he? Is he worse? Is he going to bring on Satan himself, or I mean, is the demon Linda Gottlieb good enough? Because as everyone now knows, that whole racket's getting shut down. That whole racket's getting sued. It's not gonna survive. Uh, the mother's gonna win her case, and then she's gonna come here and own you fuckers. And I can't wait. I'm gonna be standing there cheering her, cheering and cheering and cheering. You know, um, yeah. Bad people, they're not going to survive forever. Good, I mean, if you haven't, good will eventually at some point prevail. It always does. The light will always prevail. So, um, yeah. So what drives me? Um, you don't fuck with a man's family and think you're going to walk away unscathed, especially mine. When will I be done? I don't know. Hard to say. When justice arrives in the form of um, the law prevailing, I would probably, I would be done. I wanted to be done 15 years ago and just be able to live in my little corner of the world with my little acre or two and my children and be left the fuck alone. But nope. Somebody had to stick their hands in the fucking hornet's nest, didn't they? It is what it is. Um, but it's just retaliation. It's not retaliation. Seeking justice is not retaliation. Point out something that I've lied about here, and I'll gladly research it and fix it. But I don't think you will. I'm no. In fact, I'm certain you won't. Anybody want to test me on the evidence on my house? Bring it on. Bring it on. Anybody want to test me on the evidence with Casey Pitzer? Bring it on. With Allison? Bring it on. With the mother of the parental alien? Bring it on. I mean, I guess what and another thing, people get drawn to me because they see someone who's passionately fighting for something that's right. You know, if someone were to criminally take what's yours in the name of the law, and in the name of breaking the law, wearing the clothing and the being cloaked as the law, are you going to sit on your ass and just let it happen? Because if you are, you can't be an American. Americans like that shouldn't exist. My opinion. If you're not willing to fight for what you've worked your ass off for your entire life, you're sad. You're definitely you're definitely I don't know, but I think most 99% of Americans would definitely not go down without a fight. And I'm not. I promise you. The emails that I spent 5 hours sending out today, clipped with information, going to news channels, going to psychiatrists, going to children's services, going across the United States with the. I mean, just wait. You know, this might take a little time, but you just wait. You know, could you imagine someone covering for? I mean, a legal system covering for like a Ted Bundy or something. I mean, it just doesn't sound right, does it? I mean, that's a little extreme. But I mean, on the same token, when you have somebody that's obviously showing, forms of, mental incapacities and inconsistencies, and showing, traits of serious problems, and you curtail and you condone and you shelter and you shield that shit, and then somebody really gets hurt, who won that battle? Who? And I'm hearing about a story that happened. I think it was at the Little Miami or the Ohio River that involved this fuckhead. And I heard that it was so bad that there was somebody about to beat the shit out of him, and he ended up walking or hitchhiking home, just disappeared. I'm going to get every piece of information. The amount of digging that's about to take place. You know what? Do I think it's going to come back? I hope, because here's the thing. You know what? I got nothing to hide. Did I do drugs? Yep. Did I get in lots of fights? Yep. Did I do stupid shit as a kid? Yep, I sure did. But you see, I learned. I paid my dues. I faced my consequences. The consequences were dealt, and I paid my dues, and then I was introduced to this island called Parris Island, South Carolina. When I left that place, I was reborn. I found home. I found a real family, brothers, not found anywhere on the planet. And it's unlike anything I'd ever felt, and every Marine will tell you that. There's Army, Air Force, Navy, Coast Guard, and then there's the Marine Corps. So I will never degrade another branch of the service ever, because they all serve their purposes. But every man and woman was faced with, hey, what branch am I going to join? Most of them said, when they hear Marine Corps, ain't doing that shit. But then there's a select few that said, fucking bring it on. Feed me. Feed me. And that's, hey, the Marine Corps was born in a bar, dude. by some drunk, hard ass fucking dudes. So, sadly, but that's what we do. So anyway, does that also ignite the fire? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Do I think if the Marine Corps has ignited, this never quit? Absolutely. Does it also, taking that oath of serving my country and honoring that oath, does that make it? Absolutely. Because I honor that oath, and these people took the same oath. They held their hands up, smiling and smiling in the background. I ain't taking this oath. In fact, one of them had, Judge McCracken had rules. I think it was Judge McCracken. Had some rules about drinking for local lawyers and people within the system here. Well, Brett called him a pedophile. a judgmental pedophile. Anybody that would have I'm not going to listen to some old judgmental pedophile who probably does, yeah. So you want to see it? I'll show you. I wonder why that judge isn't going after slander. Interesting, isn't it? Pathetic. But that's the driving force. That's the driving force. Again, if someone were to show me, Tony, these people aren't wrong, they're right, and show it to me in the law, I would cease and desist completely. But here's the thing: nobody can do that. No one. Again, it's not illegal, to put trust into someone like I did, like Judge Paul Herdman, and also he was a veteran. So we are trained and grinded into us, instilled in us. We trust one another. That man stripped that from me. Sadly, he took it from me. That was one of the most sacred things that a veteran can have is trust in one another. And that piece of shit ruined that. Because he's a veteran too. And then that other half-wit goes to social media and says I called his wife on a page a drunk. No, I didn't. You lying fucking piece of shit. You're a fucking liar. I mean, what you meant to say was I sent you a private message saying it's no wonder she drinks so much because married to you. That was how that went down, right? You want to see it? So, yeah. And oh, he's good people. He's a fucking liar. You call liars good people? That doesn't say much about you. Birds of a feather flock together. Peace out.